everyone, it's Tomatoda, and today I have a long-awaited tutorial for you guys. Now, before I begin, you guys can read this here so you know the history of how this specific type of candy charm came to be, because credit should be given where credit is due. I've asked Lemon Tea Charm, Sunset Starlet, and Milky Bond about making this tutorial, and they all gave me the okay. So I thank them for that. Also, keep in mind that there are a few other tutorials on these charms that show alternative ways on how to make them. This video is just how I personally make them, so you are more than welcome to tweak it to your liking. The materials you will need are scissors, pinking shears, double-sided tape permanent, strong clear tape, washi tape of your choice, candy inserts, hair straightening iron, something hard, flat, and heat resistant, and last but not least, PVC fabric. If you can tell, this one has a bit of thickness to it. I bought this specifically at Walmart and they have different thicknesses. The one I bought was the blue one, as you can see here, but it's up to you if you want a thinner fabric or, whatever. Some optional materials are those glasses cleaning fabric thing and a rectangle thing. Basically, it's used to cut out the candy wrapper. I use it as a size guide and to help me cut straight. The horizontal doesn't really matter, but the vertical should be as straight as possible. And you can see that I'm using it to cut straight. And this rectangle is a little bit long, but it's okay because it gives me room to make mistakes, as you will see later in the video. Now, once that is done, turn your hair straightening iron on and set it to 360 degrees Fahrenheit. I tape this thing here so that I don't accidentally change the setting and melt my PVC, which I have done quite a few times before. Then take your PVC fabric and the glasses cleaner thing to wipe any fingerprints or dust out of the way. Now, this is also optional. You don't have to clean the backside because you can kind of do that afterwards, but the inside is important, if that made sense. Take your insert and fold your PVC around it to make sure that it fits. Typically, I only add in one cane bead, so I keep them thin like this, but today I want to add stars and shit, so I'll make it a little bit more roomy. Slip out your insert and make sure that your wrapping is straight. The lines should all be parallel from each other as much as possible. Get your flat, heat-resistant thing ready and begin to seal one side of your wrapper shut. Unfortunately, I got nervous all of a sudden, so I held the iron on for too long and it melted too much. But that's okay. As I've mentioned that the measurements were long anyways, to leave room for mistakes. So I just cut it off and tried again. Attempt number 2. After sealing it shut, I'm using my blade to keep it as flat as possible while the wrapper cools off. And voila, sealed. That's my seal impression. Now we add in our inserts. I'm gonna add a few stars and a soot sprite cane from another video that I made a while ago. When you have to push something inside, use a tool because you don't want to accidentally put your fingerprints in there. And I am not going to add any of the orange stars because that shit is ugly. Once everything is inside, seal the other end in the same way using your straightening iron. When using the blade to flatten, you want to alternate sides or else you'll end up with a crooked wrapper. If you've noticed, I didn't seal the back. The PVC kind of naturally sticks to each other and the items I have inside are pretty big, so they won't slip out. However, if you put tiny things like maybe glitter in there, I don't know what will actually happen. In that case, you can use double-sided tape in between the folded area to make sure that it's like for sure closed shut. Oh, and there's one thing that I totally forgot to mention in the materials needed section. This is, I guess, optional. It's acetone. You just put it on a cotton swab and then wipe away the oil, the dirt, or whatever there is on the sealed parts of the candy. You don't want it going anywhere near the center of the candy. In my mind, this helps the tape to adhere better, but who knows if that is true. If you can see, the acetone kind of makes the PVC frosted. Time for the washi tape. So I want the soot sprites to appear on my wrapper, but they're a bit high up on the tape design, which means if I applied it normally, the soot sprites would get cut off by the planking shears. So I'm going to cut off the bottom of the tape instead. And I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but if you keep watching, maybe you'll understand what I'm saying. So lay out your washi tape, sticky side up, and apply your double-sided tape on top of it. And if you see here, I'm using the double-sided tape as a guide to help me cut straight at the bottom. Before you apply, don't put your tape up here on this crease line. You want to put it past the crease line. I want this section of the tape to show up. Now, when you handle your tape, try your best to only touch the top or the very ends of your tape, because that shit's just gonna get cut off anyways. Turn it around and cut the sides. Wrap it around. Make sure it's straight and also aligns with the front of the washi tape. Repeat the process one more time for the other end. Now, one thing here is I think that the PVC melted a little bit too much and expanded to the side. So I got this little like overlap creasing, but that's okay. I'm going to take my scissors to carefully cut it off, little by little. Reattach, and washi tape portion is finished. To ensure everything is sturdy as much as possible, take the strongest clear tape that you can find or that you have and wrap it around the washi tape. Like I've said before, try your best to only touch the part of the tape that's going to be cut off. You want to make sure that the tape overlap each other when they meet in the center. Repeat on the other side. And we are one more step closer to completing our charm. Time for the pinking shears. This part is pretty self-explanatory. You just cut across. One suggestion that I have is that you start on the outer edge and then make your way shorter in, because if you start really short from the beginning, you can't reverse it. Here I'm cutting the washi tape a lot shorter than I usually do for some unknown reason, but it doesn't look too bad, so whatever. Just even out both sides so that they're the same length. And there we have it. Charm is completed except for one detail, the hole. So I bought these little eyelets for the charms, but the Michaels here actually doesn't carry a puncher, so I've resorted to, the old method of heating up a needle and poking it through. And because everything in this charm is essentially plastic, it's going to just melt through when you poke it. Now I present to you the very last step of making this into a usable charm. The ring. Ta-da! Our charm has been completed! Yay! I hope this tutorial wasn't too difficult. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to leave them in the comments below, and I'll try my best to make sense of it as much as possible. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you all have a great weekend. I love you all, and bye bye!